हेलो एवरीवन। इस वीडियो में हम प्रैक्टिस करेंगे पास्ट टेंस की। उसके लिए हम क्लास 6 की ग्रेड 1 विद ग्रामर बुक का चैप्टर नंबर 17 पास्ट टेंस की वर्कशीट सॉल्व करेंगे। अगर आपको इस बुक के बाकी के चैप्टर्स देखने हैं तो उसकी वीडियोस के प्लेलिस्ट का लिंक मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन में प्रोवाइड किया है, आप वहाँ पे जाके देख सकते हैं। कुछ पॉइंट्स हमें गिवन है, उनको रीड करते हैं। द पास्ट टेंस हैज टू फॉर्म्स, सिंपल पास्ट एंड पास्ट कंटिन्यूअस। सिंपल पास्ट टेंस हम कब यूज करते हैं? When we wish to talk about actions that took a place at some point in the past that are over now. For example, I ate the apple yesterday. Ram completed his assignment last week. When we wish to talk about some past habit. For example, I used to eat my dinner by 8 p.m. We use the past continuous tense when we wish to talk about something that was continuing at some point of time in the past. Example, the boys were studying when the guest arrived. My father was working on his laptop this morning. The past perfect tense is usually referred to as earlier past when speaking of the two actions. We use the past perfect tense to refer to the earlier action. Example, when I reached the cinema hall, the movie had already begun. I reached the cinema hall, past action, movie began, an action that happened before that. तो फर्स्ट एक्सरसाइज इसकी हम रीड करेंगे. रीराइट द पैसेज changing all the verbs from simple present to simple past tense. तो सर हम पैराग्राफ रीड करते हैं. सुनील wakes up at 5 a.m. When the alarm clock on his phone buzzes, he jumps out of bed and turns it off before it wakes up anyone else. He switches on the light because it is still dark. He uses the bathroom, then looks for a clean shirt to wear. He gets dressed and brushes his hair. He goes into the kitchen and makes coffee. Then he packs his bag for work and makes some sandwiches for his lunch. While drinking coffee, Sunil checks his mail on his smartphone. He put on his shoes and jacket just before leaving the house. When he leaves home, he makes sure to switch off all lights and fans. He locks the front door and walks to the colony gate to wait for the pickup taxi. The taxi arrives at 6 a.m. and Sunil gets into the taxi. He greets his colleagues who are in the car. The taxi drops them at work by 7 a.m. You can begin this way. Sunil woke up at 5 a.m. When the alarm clock on his phone buzzed, he jumped out of bed and turned it off before it woke up anyone else. He switched on the light because It was still dark. He used the bathroom, then he looked for a clean shirt to wear. He got dressed and brushed his hair. He went into the kitchen and made coffee. Then he packed his bag and made some sandwiches for his lunch while drinking coffee. Sunil checked his mail. On his smartphone. He wore his shoes and jacket. Just before leaving the house. When he left the house, he made sure he had switched off all lights and fans. He locked the front door and walked to the colony gate to wait for the pickup taxi. The taxi arrived at 6 a.m. and Sunil got into the taxi. He greeted his colleagues who were in the car. The taxi dropped them at work by 7 a.m. Part B. Choose the correct verb and complete the sentences. First, it dashed to rain. It began to rain. So I drank my coffee and hurried home. Second, they dashed the bells on New Year's Eve. Ran. They have dashed the bells on important days for years. Run. Third, every day in summer she dashed in the lake. Swam. Many people have dashed there. Swam. Fourth, the children dashed the national anthem. Sang. They have dashed it many times. Sung. Fifth, she dashed a necklace of pearls. Wore. She has dashed it many times. Worn. Sixth, the hen has not dashed any eggs. Laid today, but she dashed two yesterday. Late. Seventh, have they dashed the work? Begin. Yes, they dashed working in the morning. Began. 8. Mother dashed a bicycle when she was in school. Rode. She has not dashed one in many years. Ridden. Part C. Fill in the blank with a suitable simple past or past perfect tense of the verb given in brackets. First, I dashed a lot about her. Worried. Before I dashed that she was safe. Heard. Second, I didn't like the flat. It dash much smaller. Was. Then I dash. Thought. Third, they dash tea. Drank. After they dash dinner. Finished. Fourth, she dash had just folded the pink apron and placed it in a table drawer when the door opened and Joe entered. Fifth, after he worked at the hospital for 2 years, he decided to give up the job. Sixth, when I arrived at the party, John Dash had already gone home. Seventh, we waited until the match finished. 8th, they left the room after the meeting finished.